Hey, happy Friday evening. I hope you guys are having a more exciting day than me. I haven't been on here to do a soaring solo in a while, so I said it's time. So I'm busting one out. We're going to talk about self-care. You see, I have my lovely tiger sweatshirt on. There's two reasons for this. Number one, I'm going to go do a little self-care when I'm done with this. I think I'm going to go take a walk while it's not raining and the sun's shining. I'm just going to bundle up and have my little mental release walk around the neighborhood that I like to do occasionally. And I don't do very much in the winter, sadly. But also it's opening day. And I think the Tigers won. Can you believe it? I think we're going to have a good season. I just had to get that in there. Okay. Anyway, it's not all about you, Cupcake. That is what we are talking about today. What are we talking about? Self-care. We need to do self-care for more than just us. Okay? That's the first thing I want to say. But before I get into this, let's talk about a couple of things. First of all, I am not the same person that I was before Vance was born. If you knew me, and I'm not the same person I was in high school. We change, we evolve, sometimes for the better, sometimes not so much. I was pretty shy, and not shy, that's not the word. I was shy in elementary school. By about middle school, the shyness went away, and that just disappeared. But I was still sweet and innocent, really. And then I got out of high school and all hell broke loose. So I was kind of a party girl for a long time. That's how I know a lot of y'all from the bar. I enjoyed having a few or a lot of drinks and acting a little crazy, right? And then I found out I was pregnant and I settled back down. I changed my whole lifestyle. So you see that we kind of go through this growth pattern, and sometimes we take some steps back, and that's okay. We usually, hopefully, you pull yourself out of it, right? But as a single mom, something that I've noticed is there are two different kinds of single moms, like two different extremes, I should say. Hopefully you fall somewhere in the middle, but there are two extremely different single moms. Is the single mom, emphasis on the single. The single mom, she doesn't sacrifice a whole lot. She hasn't changed her lifestyle whatsoever. Don't name names, but I bet you know somebody. They had their babies. They didn't change anything about their life. They're still doing like me and hanging out in the bar and acting a fool. They have no problem getting a sitter on Friday night so that they can go out and find them a daddy for their babies, right? You know what I'm talking about, right? Their priority is their fun, their life, their partying, all of that, okay? They are looking for a man and probably all the wrong places, right? You know what I'm talking about. That's an extreme, but there's a good handful of them out there, all right? There's also the other extreme. There's the single mom, emphasis on the mom part of it. And the single mom is the polar opposite. She wouldn't dream of leaving her kids with a babysitter or grandma or anyone else because no one can take care of her kids the way that she does. She absolutely, her life absolutely revolves around her children. She has no outside interests. She does nothing without them. She has no life outside of them. And often she plays the victim. Okay? I sacrifice everything for my kids because I'm a single mother. I can't do that. I'm a single mother. Okay? You know, we all know at least one of those. Don't name names. Okay? Right? I think we can all. Hopefully we can find some place in the middle. The middle is where it's a little more healthy. And I'm going to tell you why. Because we need to have our own interests and we need to take care of ourselves as women. All right? We need to take care of our babies. We need to make them a priority, but we can't completely neglect ourselves either. And we can't completely neglect ourselves because we're not doing our kids any good when we do that. So if you're on that extreme side of the single mom where you don't do anything and you sacrifice everything for your children, you're not helping your children. Okay, you're actually hurting them because they're watching you and they're seeing you not take care of yourself and not value yourself. And it's really important that if you want them to value themselves, they've got to see you doing the same for you. Okay, your life on either end of the spectrum, it has to change. Okay, plan some change. You need to change. Your kids need to come first, but they should not be your only focus. You need to have a hobby. You need to have a life. You need to have friends outside of your children. It's important. Doesn't mean that you spend every waking moment doing that. By all means, that would be ridiculous, right? But you need to have something. You need to have something where you can blow off some steam, where you can have some fun, where you can be you so that your kids can get to know you and find out that you're an actual person and not just a mom, right? Okay, so it's really important. If you are totally wrapped up in yourself, if you're the single mom that I was talking about, the emphasis on the single, and you are totally just doing your thing and you're letting the kids raise themselves, obviously that's not right either, right? Our kids have to be our priority. Your kids are going to suffer. If they're raising themselves, they don't know what they're doing. Like, you think we don't know what we're doing? We don't know what we're doing. Let's face it. I thought I knew what I was doing. I was that mom before I got pregnant that would see a mom with kids, in a restaurant screaming, pitching a fit. And I'd be like, oh my God, my kid will never do that. Guess what? My kid did that because you don't know until you're there. And you can think you know how to be a parent. And I guarantee once you are, you're going to get a big surprise somehow. They're going to do something that throws you for a loop that you do not know how to handle. And it's okay. You'll get through it, right? But you can't leave them to raise themselves. You have a little better idea than they do, right? Okay. If you are out partying every night and you're not taking care of your kids, you have a history of failed relationships, you have not accomplished anything, you have no drive, why are your kids going to try to do anything better or different than you? They're going to follow in your path. You are setting the example. If they see you doing this, they're going to do the same. So set some goals. Pay attention to them, do things with them, enjoy them, find that balance, right? If you're on the other side and you're totally wrapped up in your kids instead of yourself, that's not healthy either. You still have to have those hobbies and those things that you do, just you, and friends that you have that are outside of the kids. Because here's the thing, someday our goal as parents, let me just back up, our goal as parents should be to raise healthy adults that can take care of themselves and that actually want to hang out with us someday. They'll choose to again after they go through the teenage years and they don't want to have anything to do with you. Eventually, hopefully they come back and they want to actually hang out with you. But you got to give that time. We're not friends yet, right? But in that time, when they go off and they start having their own children, they start finding their spouse and having their kids and having their own family, you're going to get real lonely. If you don't have something, if you don't have hobbies, if you don't have friends, if you don't have goals. So you've got to take a little bit of time to let them grow up and be healthy kids and figure things out for themselves as age appropriately, of course, because, let's face it, when they're little, we kind of need to do everything for them. But as they get older, you need to let them make mistakes and you need to let them figure things out for themselves. We had a battle of the dishwasher the other day. So I always, I'm on my kid all the time because he leaves dishes laying around because he's 12 and that's what he does, right? And so I'm constantly saying, Vance, take care of your dishes, take care of your dishes. And I walk in and they're in the sink, which I'll take the sink. It's better than the coffee table, right? Or better than left on the kitchen table or wherever he might leave them randomly. So the other day I said, okay, take care of your dishes, but don't leave them in the sink. Put them in the dishwasher. Oh my gosh, you would have thought you would have thought I told him to kill somebody. Well, if I do it wrong, if you do it wrong, I'll correct you and we'll fix it, right? I'll show you. Put the plates and the bowls on the bottom and the silverware in the little bins for the silverware. Put the glasses on. You're good. You can do this. But you've got to require some things of them. Let them do it so you can go do what you enjoy so that you have a life outside of them someday, because you're going to be real lonely or you're going to be real meddling and you're going to completely corrupt their marriage someday if you can't leave them alone and let them live their life and go do you. So it's really important that you don't go to either extreme, okay? So stop and think about that. Think about what your purpose is. We talked about this about a year ago, and I think it's worth mentioning again. As a parent, single or not, I think it's important to have a parenting goal. What is your goal? Is it just to raise healthy adults? What is your goal? My purpose is to raise Vance. I had to write this down, and I recommend writing it down so that you can go back and look at it. My purpose is to raise Vance to pursue his God-given purpose. But that's not my only purpose. So I'm here to raise him to pursue his God-given purpose. That's important. That's my focus. That's what I'm trying to do every day. That's how I make decisions. That's how I decide on discipline and correction and all of that. But that's not my only purpose. I have other purposes too. He is not my only purpose. He's one of my purposes. He's an important purpose, but he's not the only one. So think about that. Take care of yourself. It's not just for you. Self-care is not just for you. Okay, I'm gonna go on my walk now. I'm gonna get a little exercise because I'm feeling like I haven't exercised all winter long, which is pretty much true, sadly. And it's my mental break. So that's one of the things that I do to just kind of chill out and relax. And my kid's at the skating rink, so he's off having fun with his friends, so I might as well enjoy my time, right? All right. Love you guys. Hope you're doing well. Have a fabulous weekend. If you're a single mom and you are not a part of our Soaring Solo group, I would love to add you. Just send me a message or pop a comment in there. If you know someone that might be able to benefit from this, please share it. And if you have questions or if there's a topic that you've thought of that I have not touched on, tell me. I would love to examine that topic and see if it's something that we can do a video on and maybe answer a question or discuss and give you something more to think about. All right. So you guys have a great weekend. I will talk to you later.